welcome to the world's toughest row Atlantic 2023 for our 35th arrival. We have for you Atlantic Rowmad coming into the finish line here in English Harbour. He has been rowing for 3,000 miles across the Atlantic to arrive here in English Harbour in Antigua. Jamie Howard is rowing himself in. Atlantic Rowmad from the UK, 67 years of age, our 35th team in the fleet this year. He's completed his journey in 69 days. And he is the 11th and final solo rower to arrive. We have two more pairs teams to come in. We're already hearing lots of cheering around the boat.
Let's go right only.
We had a little squall as we were coming around into the harbour there.
Okay, let's go boat to the finish.
But he powered on skillfully using the oars.
Keep it up, Jamie, almost there.
While foot steering his way in. Jamie Howard was raised on a small remote Scottish island. Jamie's dad actually taught him how to row, which was a useful form of transportation where he lived. He would row most days to cross the channel between the islands, experiencing all sorts of weather conditions in the process. Probably none quite as extreme as what he's experienced on the Atlantic this year. It's got cheering coming in
Last 10 meters to go, Jamie, almost there.
From the boat there in the background.
Last few strokes.
The time here in Antigua is 11:30 p.m.
Almost there, Jamie.
He's gently taking his time.
Jamie! Stop rowing! You've done it! Well done!
The finish line.
Oh. Well done, Jamie! Welcome to Antigua!
Oh, I can feel the relief. He just said, wow, as he stopped rowing. Yeah. Jamie Howard, Atlantic Rowmad, has completed his Atlantic row, 3,000 miles, all the way from the Canaries to here in the Caribbean, English Harbour in Antigua. And the rain is coming down again.
Well done, Jamie.
Oh, yeah, really nice. Jamie's first experience of the race was back in 2019. He was actually here in Antigua as the Atlantic rowers that year took their first steps onto land, just back here at Nelson's Dockyard. And now it's absolutely his turn to do just that. I wonder if it was at all anything what he expected.
From now on, the thing you can't help you with anything. We try to go a little bit away from the boat. And then
they just said, you did it.
And you pull a little bit
you can't believe it.
Just a little bit.
He was a member of the armed forces for 6 years and living in relative isolation.
Okay, the wind will blow you over.
No doubt helped him to cope with his solo row.
Mano la nariz, poquito la nariz.
Sorry.
Poquito.
It was a bit of a challenging start for Jamie in the intense conditions just off the coast of La Gomera. At one point on day 2, he appeared to be heading back to the start. However, that was due to the auto steering issues that he was having at the time, which he resolved by recalibrating the system. And
great job, Jamie!
He used the time wisely back at the beginning there, taking some rest while he was on power anchor in those hectic conditions. And that seemed to be just what he needed to get back on the oars and to make a big push away from the Canaries.
Okay.
He did see 2 minke whales in the first couple of days. That must have been a bit of a treat for you, Jamie. And he also had a dolphin pop up to say hello as well.
Okay, Kyle.
And there was also a seabird that checked in with him every day.
This is your moment.
Which all must have been
Yes.
very, very lovely. A nice boost for him, which is just like this moment now. A nice boost.
Jamie! Great job! Yeah! Well done, Jamie!
Well done!
Well done, Jamie! You did it! Yeah! Well done! Woo! Yes, Jamie! Great stuff! Awesome stuff, Jamie! What a row! Lovely stuff, man! Let's go! Woo! Great job, Jamie! Yes, Jamie, you did it!
Must be such a lovely relief for him.
Oh, what a finish, Jamie!
It's always tricky to come into English Harbour. They kind of have to turn themselves around and into the headwinds.
Awesome stuff, Jamie! Well done!
But like I say, he did that very skillfully, showing all the years
Great job!
of rowing
Well done.
that he did
Back into the back.
as a boy. The conditions then pushed him quite far north towards the beginning of the race there, but that soon recovered and got back into the swing of things. By then mid-January,
Awesome
he took
stuff,
a deep
Jamie.
dive
Well
south
done.
to catch those infamous, yet
Congratulations.
this year,
Ready for the
what
party?
appeared to be very elusive trade
Don't
winds.
worry. You all good?
You've done it 3,000 miles.
And then at the end of
Fantastic
January,
stuff.
it brought a marlin strike to the boat. We
Right
had
here, believe
another
it.
team this year, Vibe
It's
the
real.
Wave. They also had a marlin strike, and Jamie was the other team that experienced it as well. He was okay. However, the spear-like bill of the large fish
Yeah.
pierced 2 holes into his boat,
I mean,
leaving
it was
Jamie to
gonna be
figure
easier.
out a fix
Lift the best for
using
last.
putty and 2 fenders in the damaged compartment, and pumping water out twice a
Great
day
job,
helped to
great
remedy the situation. However, it did slow him down considerably,
The Atlantic
making
Campaign
rowing
thing is
quite
gonna
the
pick up your
slog.
passport, SIM cards, and cell
I'm
phone.
sure that was a chore that Jamie really would have liked
He's
off
gonna
the
pick
list
it
of
up.
duties that he already had to
We're
do
gonna-
while on board. So what we're going to
we're
do
gonna
is
meet
we're
you
going to
shortly on
head
land.
inland. We're going to head in ahead of Jamie so that he's going to row himself in, and we'll be there ready to watch him step
job,
onto
Jamie.
land for that first time in 69 days. Stepping into those shoes of those rowers that he saw back in 2019. It's his turn now. So stick around. The live will continue. We won't go off. It'll still be the same link. Go and make a cup of tea if you wish, and then come back and join us in a few minutes to watch Jamie step onto land and be greeted by his family. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back to the World's Toughest Row Atlantic 2023 for the arrival of Atlantic Rowmad coming in. Just
Come on, Jamie!
Jamie Howard, Atlantic Rowmad, coming in after 69 days at sea, rowing across the Atlantic in the ultimate challenge, the world's toughest row. He's got his family
Let's
here.
give Jamie a big applause! Great job, Jamie!
His daughter, his grandkids.
There he is.
Go, Jamie!
He was rowing for two charities, the NASS, the National Axial Spondyloarthritis Society. It's a UK-based charity who spread information and awareness of the inflammatory arthritis that mainly affects the spine.
Jamie! Come on!
Woo! Jamie actually suffers from ankylosing spondylitis, which is a chronic arthritic condition, which resulted in fusings in his lower back and neck. So he had to be very conscious and careful not to overdo the time he spent on the oars during his crossing. But he also acknowledged that the exercise and the heat he experienced while out there helped with his mobility.
Give it up for the incredible Jamie and Atlantic Rowmad!
Look at you. Come on.
Yes, Jamie! What a ride it has been, Jamie.
He was also rowing for Open Seas, which is a marine charity monitoring the marine protected areas around the coast of Scotland.
Would we like to see Jamie step on land? Yeah! Jamie, welcome to our team here. You can be slightly wobbly here. Here he is, Atlantic Rowmad. Beautiful scenes here.
Big hug for his daughter.
Jamie's daughter.
If you're following his social media, Hilo was actually looking after his social media accounts. Oh.
Grandkids saying hi, 18 months and 3 years old. But still awake to witness this incredible moment where their granddad rode into Nilsson's dockyard after 3,000 miles.
Oh, Jamie, well done. Fantastic. I'm so proud.
Jamie, it's time to step onto the podium. The entire dockyard is moving, we know. Yeah. By the way, that's you on the screen. Stand here and look over here when we. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have just witnessed here tonight was the arrival of Atlantic Rowmad with Jamie on board, 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, solo, and you did your journey in 69 days, 17 hours, and 56 minutes. We will know in a second. We have Kevinia here handing over a certificate of achievement and the I Wrote the Atlantic t-shirt. So a big applause for Jamie. So, Jamie, you were here in 2019 and you witnessed some of our teams coming in. And I guess a seed was planted because now you're here. You knew when you saw the arrivals back then that one day you wanted to do this. You're 67 years old and you have just crossed the Atlantic Ocean 3,000 miles. What's your immediate feeling right now?
Well, it doesn't really feel real. It feels like a bit of an out-of-body experience. I never thought I'd get here actually until we turned the corner, and So I'm pretty pleased to be here, actually.
Pretty pleased to be here, and I understand. But you had a great approach to the island and have done amazingly well throughout the day and also the evening here. And your family have been down here during the day, and the kids are still awake. Your grandkids. How does it feel to suddenly see your family again here after 69 days?
It's fantastic. It's the best thing. And the two grandchildren have grown since I last saw them. No, fantastic. I feel so lucky, actually, and what a fantastic welcome. Thanks so much. And, of course, it was solo row, but it was not a solo campaign. So there were a lot of people behind it, and I did it for Open Seas, a Scottish charity for the sustainable use of seas, and National Axial Spondyloarthritis Society, because I have spondylitis, and so we hope to raise awareness for both charities and raise funds. And my daughter Caloran has been looking after that side of things, and has raised a lot of money by volunteering, and hopefully we'll continue when we get them.
Yeah, you have some. I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry, but I know your daughter, she has problem pronouncing it as well. You just did it, but you have. I think you can go with the spine and the neck.
I'm fusing in my neck and my lower spine. I did have problems with my lower spine, actually, my sciatica, and I took quite a lot of Brufen today.
It's been a tough day, but you made it all the way. Also, Jamie, at the end of January, you had a little visit from a marlin. It was not a pleasant visit. It basically, you had a marlin strike, and it made 2 holes in your parank compartment. But you fixed those 2 holes. But tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, it was actually a very calm day, and I always had a shoal of mahi on the boat, and saw this big thing sweeping in under the boat, and thought, wow, how exciting! I'll get to go for it. And the next thing I know, it's the sound of the bill going up through my boat. So that was in the para anchor locker. So I had opened that up to have a look, and then no sooner had I done that when it came, big Bill appeared again upright in front of me. Luckily, I wasn't standing over it. And it thrashed around and did quite a lot of damage. So I ended up with 2 holes, but luckily they're both quite accessible. That's the only good thing I can say about it. So they're not actually fixed completely. There's about 20 kilos of 20 liters of water.
So you carried some extra weight. You might also lost a few kilos, so maybe that evened it up. But you did an incredible job by fixing those 2 holes, and obviously quite scary to suddenly have a visit from a marlin, which we have seen a few times this year. But
yeah, another visit yesterday actually. So I got heebie-jeebies. I'm not sure if I realize.
So just to add to the excitement, another visit from a marlin, but luckily no more holes. But your boat are here, safe and sound. The world is named the world's toughest row. You saw it the first time in 2019, and you got inspired, and now you're here. Does it live up to its name? Is it a tough race?
Yes, it is very, very, very tough, and it is a long way. And I probably may not have done it if I'd known how tough it was. I always sort of tried to play down the challenge to make it possible, as it were. Otherwise, you really wouldn't embark on a lot of these things. Yeah, it was very tough, and there were so many bits about it of just, well, as a solo rower too, having to deal with stuff yourself, and the weather, and just the endless hours on the oars. The endless freeze-dried food, which is okay actually, and of course you end up with your favourites. But it's a big mental challenge as well, and you end up with a lot of good moments and a lot of bad moments, and you discover a lot about yourself too. It's been a life-changing experience. I would say it's also been it's been like a retreat, I suppose, because I haven't seen media or people for a long time. So it's I think one of the rowers last year called it a bit of a reset, and I think that's probably true. It's worked for me anyway. So, yeah, it's great, and you also appreciate good things about life. So something like cold beers and
There'll be lots of those here on the island. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it all here. It's like a retreat. You just row across the Atlantic, 3,000 miles, and then you end up here in English Harbor, beautiful island. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Jamie and Atlantic Rowmad, and a big, big hip hip hooray. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Jamie, we're doing a little interview here live on YouTube with Charlotte. Then you're back with your family. There's some food and drinks over here. And there are also some fellow ocean rovers here behind the fence that you will meet as well. But first, over to Charlotte.
Hi, Jamie. Amazing effort. Well done. Welcome to Antigua. Would you like to come down? Yeah, sure. No, it's definitely not a fun too much. Okay. So you were raised on a small Scottish island.
Yeah, it was called Gometra actually, which is Gomera with a T.
Very similar, right? I thought that when
So
I read it.
I was always destined to go to La Gomera.
And you were quite used to rowing between the islands. Your dad taught you how to row. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
we had a ferry, sort of private ferry service, and we used to row back and forth. Not very far actually. But,
What did the Atlantic offer you that you didn't expect?
well, just everything was big and just vast, huge horizons, huge waves. Just the vastness of the thing is just phenomenal.
What did she teach you?
Sorry, it
What
taught
did the
me.
Atlantic teach you?
Well, I think it taught me self-reliance actually, but it also, I suppose, taught us. For me, it was I got a good perspective on the sort of size of the planet, as it were. I think that's something that I was really quite looking forward to actually. I mean, I've always wanted to sail, say, from England to Australia, and sort of get some idea of what the size of the planet, because we sort of jet around on planes and things, and quite often we just sort of fall short on everything. But I feel very glad for the experience actually of having done that.
And what did you learn about yourself?
Well, just a sort of a bit of a sort of pathetic human being, really.
Not at all. After
but,
what you've done.
No, I sort of I think say the Marlin attack. I think sort of trying to keep a cool head and problem solving really. When you're on your own, there was no fallback. It was me. It was my responsibility to get the job done, and so I just had to knuckle down and get it done.
And get the job done, you did.
Yeah, well.
You've got your friends, family, supporters back home watching. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I don't know if my family on the Isle of Mull are watching. It's probably a horrible hour of the day. It's William, Nat, Corin and Mari.
Somebody was up getting a cup of tea at 3 a.m.
Oh, well, if they're watching, love you.
Lovely. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I also say thanks so much to all the people who've lent support and donated to the charities. It's been absolutely phenomenal, and I've been completely humbled by the whole experience. The campaign started 2 years ago, and this is sort of end of the middle bit, and then with the sort of beginning of the next bit.
Beginning of the next bit, I like it. And it starts with your first meal on land.
Oh, well.
And a little holiday in Antigua.
A wee holiday.
Thank you so much,
Nice.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Enjoy Antigua.
Thanks very much. It's really great to be here. I think. Beautiful island. Thank you.
A big applause for Jamie.
Take a moment to get his land legs back. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching live here in English Harbour. Jamie Howard, Atlantic Rowmad, has arrived after 69 days of rowing across the Atlantic. Next up, we have tomorrow night, we've got Seize the Moment, pairs team, a 36 team coming in. That's going to be the 21st of February. Last look, it was about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, I checked out. It's between 9 and 10 p.m. tomorrow night. That's local time. So that's about 2 o'clock in the morning, UTC. As always, keep your eye on the YB Races tracker. Keep your eye on our socials. We will keep you updated as to when Seize the Moments will be coming in. And then that's our penultimate team. So over the next couple of days, we'll have our last 2 teams in. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.